I still remember the way my heels clicked against the marble floor as I walked into that grand hall. The chandeliers sparkled above like they were mocking me. My heart was beating so fast I could barely breathe. This was supposed to be a day of family pride, my brother David's big achievement ceremony. After years of being apart, I thought maybe, just maybe, we could finally heal old wounds. But the moment I arrived, I felt it. That familiar coldness. I saw David across the room, laughing with his friends and colleagues, looking so proud in his tailored suit. I smiled nervously and walked toward him. David, I said softly, touching his arm. He turned, looked straight at me, and his smile faded. Without a word, he turned back to his conversation like I was a stranger, like I didn't even exist. I stood there frozen, feeling the sting of rejection wash over me again. The little sister who was never good enough. Growing up, David was always the star, the golden child, straight A's, captain of the football team, the one everyone praised. I was the quiet one in the background, the girl who got overlooked at every family dinner, every holiday, every milestone. When our father passed away, David took over the family business while I was still trying to figure out my life. He made it very clear that I was a burden. So at 22, I made a choice that changed everything. I enlisted in the Navy, not for glory. I just wanted to disappear somewhere I could prove to myself that I wasn't nothing. Years passed. I climbed, slowly, painfully. Sleepless nights, deployments, moments I thought would break me. But I kept going. And somewhere along that hard road, I became someone I never imagined I could be. But David, he never asked, never called, never cared. And now, here I was, standing in his beautiful ceremony hall, holding a small gift I had brought for him, feeling invisible once again. I found a seat at the back, away from the important guests. My hands trembled in my lap as the event began. The MC stepped up to the microphone, smiling brightly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to celebrate David Hayes and his incredible contributions. I swallowed hard. This was his moment, not mine. But what I didn't know was that this night was about to become mine in a way I could never have imagined. As the speeches continued, I felt smaller and smaller. David stood on stage, beaming, talking about hard work, family values, and dedication. The irony burned in my chest. Family values? The same man who hadn't spoken to me properly in 8 years. Memories flooded back. When I told him I was joining the Navy, he laughed. You? You'll never last. When I was deployed for the first time and called home scared, he told our mother I was just seeking attention. Even when I earned my first major promotion, he sent a cold text. Congrats, I guess. The betrayal ran deep. After our father died, David convinced our mother to give him full control of the family assets, saying I wasn't ready and would waste it. I received almost nothing. While he built his empire, I was fighting for every rank, every opportunity, every bit of respect in a world that didn't always welcome women like me. I wiped a tear from my eye as the lights dimmed for a video tribute to David. Everyone clapped. I clapped too, even though my hands felt heavy. That's when my phone buzzed. A message from an old Navy colleague. You should have told them who you are. This is ridiculous. I hadn't told anyone, not my mother, not my distant relatives, and certainly not David. I wanted to be there as his sister, not as my title. I wanted him to see me, really see me. But as the evening went on, The pain turned into something else, a quiet strength, a fire I had carried for years. I had given so much of my life to become Admiral Elena Hayes, commanding fleets, making impossible decisions, earning respect through blood, sweat, and sacrifice. And yet, in my own brother's eyes, I was still the invisible little sister. The betrayal cut deeper than ever. Not because he was successful, I was happy for him, but because even on his biggest day, he couldn't find it in his heart to show me basic love and respect. I sat there, heart aching, wondering why I had even come. Maybe it was time to finally let go of the hope that my brother would one day see my worth. But fate, it seems, had other plans. The MC returned to the stage with a big smile. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special surprise guest. Someone whose achievements deserve recognition on a night like this. Please put your hands together for a woman who has served our country with extraordinary distinction. The spotlight moved slowly across the room and landed directly on me. Welcome, Admiral Elena Hayes. The entire hall fell into a stunned silence for a split second, then erupted into applause. I stood up, my legs shaky, and walked toward the stage. I could feel hundreds of eyes on me, but the only eyes I cared about were David's. His face had gone completely pale. His mouth hung open. The confident smile he wore all evening had vanished. He looked like he had seen a ghost. As I passed him, our eyes met. For the first time in years, he actually saw me. I stepped onto the stage, accepted the warm handshake from the MC, and gave a short, graceful speech about service, resilience, and rising above doubt. The audience was moved. Many stood up in applause. David remained frozen in his seat. After the event, he finally approached me backstage. His voice cracked. Elena, I I had no idea. Why didn't you tell me? I looked at him calmly, no longer angry, just tired. Because I wanted my brother to love me for who I am, not what I became. But you never gave me that chance. Tears filled his eyes. He tried to apologize, stumbling over his words, but the damage had already been done. The truth had been revealed in the most public way possible. Everyone now knew who I was, including the family that once dismissed me. That night, I drove home feeling something I hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. I didn't need revenge. My success had spoken louder than any words ever could. The pain of being ignored, the years of being overlooked, it all led me to this moment. If there's one thing I've learned through all of this, it's that your worth is not decided by those who fail to see you. Sometimes, the greatest justice isn't loud or cruel. It's simply becoming the person they never believed you could be. To anyone watching who feels invisible in their own family, keep going. Keep rising. One day, the world will say your name, and those who ignored you will have no choice but to listen. Thank you for being here with me.